Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of the ESL India Premiership 2018 summer seasons Masters League going on. I'm your host Vagish Gotsalebhan. Is this it? Today is the day tides have changed. Kunal goes to get himself married and the first change which occurs for the greater good is my name.
I think that's it because you wished him for his wedding that day. Yeah,
probably. Yeah. Okay then. Well, also production wants you to look at this small device. It's a very important button. Angie is not supposed to be in the perimeter of this button. Like it's a big button.
You can show it.
Here. See, do you see this button? It says GG. Let me tell you what it does. You press this button and all you can hear is GG again for effect.
Okay.
All right. So now this is a very special button. It will be activated.
That's the saddest GG I've ever heard.
Moving on, since Angela is jealous that she is not allowed to use this amazing invention there, let's focus on today's game. But before we actually move on to today's game, couple of announcements. First of all, my sincere apologies for not introducing this lady right next to me, Zara Angela Gonzalez.
It's great to be here for Clash Royale.
Why are you sad? Why are you
I'm not getting to use the buzzer, so it's just sad.
Okay, once, do it.
All right. I'm happy now. Yeah, I'm happy. I think I'll analyze this game brilliantly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this entire hullabaloo has been brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX and Intel and presented to you by the lovely folks at Nodwin Gaming and ESL. Now, before we move on to the game at hand, general announcement. Ladies and gentlemen watching us on YouTube, you see that amazing bell type of button there? Yeah, that's the button which you need to press so that you don't miss any further notifications from us when we go live and any updates come out. In fact, you know what? Do one better. Subscribe to us so that you in future do not miss any updates containing Indian esports and specifically ESL India Premiership. Now we have a game at hand here. We have a game of Clash Royale between two very interesting peeps. Let's start off with the first one here. Mukul. All right, that's Mukul 8-bit Achal there. Very interesting chap. I've seen him play a couple of times and I gotta say, for a man who reinstalled Clash Royale and in a record time of half an hour again uninstalled it, this guy plays pretty good.
Yeah, he was fantastic. I mean, in 2017, as you guys already know, Mukul is the winter season finale champion, but as of now in the summer season he's going through a little bit of a tough run. He's sitting 9th on the board as of now and he's only taken one victory to his name against Seth. Otherwise he's taken bigger losses against Arpan and who's the other guy? PP. Bangalore, a guy from Bangalore. Now, Mukul is from Chandigarh and his deck placements are very versatile. He likes to play multiple kinds of decks. His favorite cards, of course, would be the Pekka, the Dark Prince. He likes to play the Miner, the Balloon. So I'm hoping to see whether he follows a similar strategy coming into this matchup because he really needs to start climbing up that ladder if he wants to make it to the land finale.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next participant here at hand. We're talking about Jimit Bhatt. Alrighty then, well that's Jimit Bhatt there. Angie, you want to add on to this young lad?
Yeah, so Jimit is from Bombay and as of now he sits 10th on the board. He's not really secured any wins to his name. He's played against Arpan, Bryn and PP. Now Arpan and Bryn both being amazing players. They've been playing Clash Royale for quite a while. And we talk about PP in general, he's been with us from the 2016 edition. So he's a very, very experienced Clash Royale player. But Jimit always has this thing that he always tries to get the maximum points at the end of the season. He doesn't really like to get them from the beginning maybe. He likes to keep trying out versatile decks. He tries to see how his opponents plays and later on in the tournament he'll just start changing his gameplay. He does love to play the Goblin deck a lot. He loves the Goblin Heart. He loves
I think everybody loves the Goblin. In fact, if you look at Jimit's favorite cards are the Three Musketeers and 8-bit Mukul. The Hog Rider! Okay,
he loves the Hog Rider. Of course, I've not seen him play the Hog Rider that much, even though it's his favorite card. He likes to play the Dark Prince more.
I think it's a ruse. I think it's a ruse. 8-bit Mukul has ensured that his favorite card is Hog Rider, so that he ensures that everybody,
Assumes that he can
bans
get a
it,
ban.
but
Yeah.
he uses his favorite card then later.
If I have to talk, I think if I have to give Mukul a favorite card, I would call it the Dark Prince.
The Dark
He has
Prince.
won a lot of games with the Dark Prince. Yeah.
Well. He got a Mega Knight band, whereas Jimit Bhatt got a
Barrel
Goblin Barrel.
band. All right. So the Goblin
Goblin Barrels getting banned. Well. This
interesting.
sets in motion today's game. Angie, are you kicked about it?
I'm very interested to see this game because both these players really need to buck up their speed to reach to the top of the board. I'm going to ask you, who are you betting on? Because whoever loses the bet does not get to press the buzzer at the end of the game. Are you going with Jimit or Mukul?
I've already won the bet. Mukul 8-bit Anchal is my bet.
All right. I'm going to go with Jimit because until now he's not really won a single game, and I'm hoping that he's able to, kind of just make his way back into the board and even in the top 5.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I will be the one who to
Fine.
press this amazing button
Let's
here, right
see.
in the center of this table.
Let's see.
We'll
We
head
still
off
have
into the
Dora.
game. Manoj Super XL Gola is all ready.
To the ESL India Premiership after a short hiatus of one day. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring you the regular esports that we bring you every day yesterday, but that's okay. We're back with fresh games, and today it's Mukul versus Jimit. So, like we've seen, the banned cards are the Dark Prince and the Goblin Barrel. Arguably one of the two most effective cards that we have in the meta of the ESL India Premiership for now. But we'll just have to wait and see what kind of changes they may force the Masters players to make to their decks. So, well, for now it looks like Jimit is actually playing his favorite card of all time, the Three Musketeers, along with an Elixir Pump. But how is he going to defend against this balloon from Mukul, I wonder? I think that tower's a goner right now. He put all of what he had into that push over there on the left, Jimit did, but he couldn't really destroy Mukul's tower. But Mukul, on the other hand, all he had to do was one Ice Golem and a balloon, and he just completely demolished Jimit's tower. But we do have 2 minutes left on the clock. That is a long time for Mukul to be defending his 844 HP tower. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if he'll be able to successfully defend it, or if Jimit's Three Musketeer pushes will be just prove too much. I think we can safely assume by now that Mukul understands that Jimit has a Three Musketeers in his deck, especially since he already put down an Elixir Pump, and we saw that Jimit has a battering ram. So, I mean, all evidence points to the fact that Jimit has a Three Musketeer card in his deck. But again, he really doesn't have anything to defend Mukul's balloons being brought against him, and that's a really sad story, because look at that, 272 HP left on Jimit's King Tower, and yeah, I think that's all she wrote. Mukul has both a zap and a miner. All he has to do is let the miner go off onto Jimit's King Tower. He's just waiting for the right opportune time so that the miner doesn't get distracted by any other units that Jimit might put down. There we see the miner coming in, couple of whacks off onto the tower. Okay, 24 HP left, ladies and gentlemen. That's just literally one zap or one more miner whack away, and here comes the miner, one shot from his shovel, and that's it. Mukul takes the first game with a 3-crown victory, with a very convincing, conniving, and I don't know. Maybe production can help me with another word that starts with C. With a clashing victory, I would say. A 3-crown victory. So let's just jump right into game 2, because I am actually very keen on finding out what happens in this matchup. Again, I think we're going to see both the players bleed a little elixir. Jimit might put down his Ice Golem just to force Mukul to do something. But we'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, 30 seconds in, I'm pretty sure nobody's going to play any cards. 34, 33, 32. I'm just going to count down the timer. 30, 29. Okay. First card being played 31 seconds into the game by Jimit. Like I said, he just played the Ice Golem just to sort of test the waters. But they've started bleeding elixir again. Mukul is still bleeding Elixir. He's just waiting for the right opportune time to let go of his either Evis or Executioner. Looks like he has chosen to go with his Evis. And also a log as well to prevent this push coming out from Jimit from reaching the tower. And now it's Jimit's turn to defend against this Evis and Ice Spirit coming out from Mukul. Oh, that's interesting. Mukul has opted to switch to a crossbow deck with an Elixir character. That's out of the norm, but still, it might work. It might actually work. So this Evis over there on the left, coming from Mukul, has brought Jimit's tower down to 1395 HP, and that I don't know. Maybe my product head can tell me this. Can I say piss poor on stream? Yeah, that was a piss poor combo of poison and graveyard. Couldn't really do anything. We see the first crossbow coming down from Mukul, going to target the Goblin Hut first, slowly taking it down, and it's surprising how much HP that Goblin Hut has. I mean, we know how weak a Tombstone is, we know how weak a Barbarian Hut is, but how is the Goblin Hut so damn strong? It's made of straw, right? The big bad wolves just huffed and puffed and blew it away, but this crossbow needs like 20 huge ass bolts to bring it down. Okay, nice timing on the Elixir Collector right there. Manages to completely avoid the poison. And if you guys haven't noticed yet, during the first graveyard that Jimit has done, Mukul has managed to activate his King Tower with a Tornado, and that is going to really help out a lot with defense. Okay, another crossbow coming down is going to target the Ice Golem first. Ooh, that P.E.K.K.A. and Executioner right there just soaking up damage in front of the crossbow to make sure nothing reaches it, but unfortunately this spell called Poison the Jimit has so expertly placed to touch all three buildings, like the Elixir Collector, the crossbow, as well as the Princess Tower. It was placed really well, is what I was trying to say. Brought all of them down. And again, 1395 HP left on Jimit's lowest tower and 1484 on Mukul's lowest tower. And Mukul has decided to switch the pressure on onto the other lane. Well, that crossbow has so far not been able to do much damage. It's going to die to the Mega Minions slap. And we see more pressure coming down onto Mukul on his almost fresh tower. But yeah, again, another crossbow being placed down by Mukul, going to target, same old story, going to target the Barbarian Hut and get slowly beaten down by Poison. It's strange though, both the players are still bleeding Elixir even in overtime, even in double Elixir time, where literally every move matters, every second matters. I mean, not that it doesn't in the normal game, but this is overtime, right? The first tower down loses. I mean, if this keeps up, we might actually have a draw for game 2. But it doesn't look like it. Looks like Jimit's pushes are making their way through slowly but steadily, bringing down Mukul's tower to 717 HP, I guess. Those poisons actually did help out quite a bit. Again, this crossbow is not going to do anything. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, this crossbow might actually do something right now. But thanks to the log, it just doesn't have enough HP to keep hammering on those bolts. Well, now I guess we have to turn our attention to the right side of the lane, where Mukul has launched his Executioner and Jimit is now on a quest to bring down those last hit points of health. We see him put down another Elixir character, which I'm not sure if it was wise or not. Okay, another Graveyard Poison combo coming out. The skeletons... Yeah, there we go. So Jimit's persistence actually paid off. He actually won game 2 just by using his chip damage deck. He decided that Three Musketeers weren't really working out. Maybe I should do something different. Maybe I should catch him off guard with some old but tried and proven tactics, I guess. I want to go to game number 3. And there we go. Okay. Interesting. Looks like Mukul might have stuck with the same deck. And Jimit has completely switched around his deck. Now he has a P.E.K.K.A. with a minion horde. Interesting. Is Jimit going to come out with a completely strange deck? Like maybe he's going to start. Oh, he has a mortar. Okay. Now I get it. So, since Jimit has understood that big pushes with his three musketeers are not really working out, he has decided to do to do damage from afar. Especially, oh look, a hog. So it's a hog mortar deck. Interesting. That execution is going to make quick work of those of the minion horde, and he's going to start eating those huge boulders right to his face. Unfortunately, the mortar wasn't able to get any hits off onto the building that actually matters. And we see the first crossbow coming out from Mukul, directly targeting the P.E.K.K.A. The P.E.K.K.A did get one hit off onto the crossbow, but but what? It's okay though. It's fine. So far, we haven't been really lucky enough to witness any huge pushes coming out. That's because neither of these decks are actually push decks. We see a crossbow coming out from Mukul. We see.
Oh shit. अरे नहीं मेरे को दिमाग में यही था कि एसी लेना है.
We see something happening here maybe.
मेरे दिमाग में यही था कि उससे एसी लेना था. एसी लेना था उससे.
But what's happening here? Okay, anyway, again we see under two huge P.E.K.K.As meeting again in the middle of the road. I really don't know what's going to happen, but that tornado really proves it. The execution has completely wiped out whatever Jimit has placed in defense. All the goblins are dead, and now the crossbow has finally targeted the tower and is now completely backing away at it. Goes under damage from one hit from the hog, but it actually melted it down to 974 HP from full HP. That's strange. That is really strange. Well, what? I really have no idea why Mukul has chosen to put his crossbow there, because that's clearly out of reach of both the Princess Stars. Maybe he wanted Jimit's mortar to target it. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess Angie will have to correct me if I'm wrong. Again, good, well-placed Goblin Gang right there. Manages to distract the executioner and get him killed by the tower. Oof. Will that tornado be enough? Yeah, the tornado is enough to destroy it. So, I guess... Well, okay. Again, this is just a repeat of what's been happening in the past couple of minutes so far. Yeah, this again, well-timed mortar from Jimit right there distracts the crossbow, but just for a moment though. This is overtime. The crossbow has retargeted the Princess Tower and brought it down after a minute and a half of overtime. And that's when we get the scoreline to be 2-1 in favor of Mukul. So I apologize if anybody heard some strange sounds on stream recently, like maybe somebody else speaking and not listening to what I was saying. But yeah, that's okay. We've just had a few ghosts in the studio and we've called the obvious people to come over and bust them. Now that that's over, let's head into what might be the final match of this final round of this matchup. Since the score right now is 2-1 in favor of Mukul. If Mukul wins this one as well, he will win this series, and that will leave Jimit with yet another loss, which is just sad to say the least. Again, so even before we get into the action, I just want to take a moment Oh, I see a golem right there, so let me see if I can do this quickly. I want to thank Women by HP, I want to thank HyperX, I want to thank uh, Red Bull, and of course ourselves at Nordwind Gaming and ESL India for all of this. And now we see the golem being hammered by the P.E.K.K.A, and we see oh, and we see the Inferno Dragon try to lock onto the P.E.K.K.A, but thanks to the Evis, couldn't really do much damage. Jimit tried to pull the Evis away with the Tornado, but wasn't really successful in that regard, and now he has to deal with this dangerous and deadly combo of an Executioner and a P.E.K.K.A heading straight for Jimit's tower. One more hit from the P.E.K.K.A and he's going to be in some serious trouble. There we go. So luckily for Mukul, he was able to get 3 hits of the P.E.K.K.A onto Jimit's tower, and yeah, I think that's all she wrote for this game right now. I think I can safely call this in favor of Mukul right now, especially since Jimit is forced to use his rocket for trades against Mukul's Elixir Collector. And whenever you are forced to do that, instead of that being a choice, that is a definite signal that this matchup is going downhill for you. And now all Mukul has to do is play extremely defensive, just keep using those crossbows. Only to damage the tower, just keep using those P.E.K.K.As to defend the crossbows, force Jimit to commit all of his resources to whatever tiny little irritating pushes that Mukul doles out. And yeah, we are entering the last minute, which is even worse news for Jimit because Mukul's the one with the Elixir Collector, and if he places one now, Jimit has to rotate one more card before he'll be able to use a rocket to finish off the Elixir Collector, and I don't think he'll even use the rocket. Yeah, because he only has a minute left, he actually has to use the rocket to pull down a tower if needed, and I think he's about to lose one more tower thanks to the crossbow. He doesn't have anything to stop the crossbow except the rocket, and like I said before, he can't use the rocket against the crossbow. This is just a sad state of affairs for Jimit. Yeah. 30 seconds left, two Princess Towers down. I don't think Jimit can come back from this. I don't think he is coming back from this, especially since his golem just died and his Inferno Dragon keeps getting distracted by the Evis and is now going to get frozen by the Ice Spirit, and finally it's just going to die. It's just bleak, almost like a post-apocalyptic future. There we go, 3-2-1-0. Mukul wins this. Congratulations, Mukul. The final scoreline is 3-1. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. I will go to the studio really quickly right now in just a few seconds. So maybe the host should sit up. And yeah, so I'm going to hand you guys back over to the studio where Vagish and Angie will take you through what happened with a little more depth instead of just me passing random comments on them. So yeah, this has been Manoj Supergola cashing for you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time is now. Say 1, say 2, say 3. Once again for effect.
All right.
Once for good luck. 3 is a charm. Mukul 8-bit Achal.
Oh, you completely knew that was going to happen.
I know, I'm omniscient. My name means Lord Brahma. I'm the guy with the entire knowledge of what's about to happen. Please, Angela, come on, cut me some slack here.
Okay, that was a good analysis by you.
No, but
yeah.
a great game by Mukul Achal. You don't expect any dull moment when you see the winter season finale playing Clash Royale.
What I've kind of noticed about Mukul in general is that he always thinks out of the box. And I think that is why he sits in the Masters League. And even though he's right now sitting 9th on the leaderboard, I think he's going to climb up really quickly to the top. Now, there are a lot of reasons I'm saying this. Just watching this matchup again made me realize so many things about this player. First of all, in the first game, he wasn't aggressive. He was very calm, composed. He waits for his opponent to show what exactly cards they have or what kind of gameplay they want to throw out over there. But once he gets into his, I'm going to take that tower down mode, he kind of just goes ahead and destroys. He saw Jimit play 2 cards aggressively to take down his tower. He decided, okay, you know what, I've done the mathematics. Even if you take down my tower to 800 HP, I'm going to take down your other tower completely. Plus, I'm going to see that your main tower or your king throne is also at a very low point. And that's what he did in game 1. I mean, he just took the balloon, he took the ice column, two very simple cards, a very simple strategy, but he played them at the right moment. And Mukul is fantastic at using the cards at the right time. Second game, I think he was just... he expected Jimit to have a different deck. When he went with the Graveyard Army and the Poison, he didn't really expect that combo coming in from Jimit. He expected him to play the Golem right there and then. And that's why he even went and opted to go with the P.E.K.K.A. Now, he has no longer stuck to the policy of using small elixir cards. He's just completely made his deck based on very high elixir defending troops, example, the P.E.K.K.A., tornadoes, lots of poison spells, zap, etc., etc. But his main cards to really push the match through is actually a building like an expo or like a mortar, or he prefers the expo in this matter of fact. So what happens is when you're doing something like that, your opponent is constantly under pressure to play, because that expo, even though it costs say 6 elixir, you have to take it down and it's just going to constantly trouble you. And whether you spend small cards to go and destroy that or whether you send one big card, Mukul is going to make sure that my expo is the one that actually is doing the damage, not the P.E.K.K.A. And the P.E.K.K.A. is just there to kind of make sure that if you send me a golem, if you send me a Sparky, my P.E.K.K.A. will make sure that it goes down. And that kind of gameplay has kind of made this player learn through a lot of experience. I mean, even we talk about the third game also, very similar concept coming in from there. I kept thinking that, even Manoj mentioned this, that he has a lot of versatile but very big cards, and it's very dangerous when you got big cards like that, because you don't get a chance to just throw it at any given point of time. It's not like a 2 elixir or 3 elixir unit. While Jimit, on the other hand, because he was under so much pressure, the pressure to push ahead was so strong for him that at one point he could have taken down the tower, but we had the expo played defensively in the center, so the hog had to go that way. And to top it, he also played the minions and he played another card, and that was what Mukul wanted exactly, because his tornado kind of destroyed all the 3 units one shot. So I would just go ahead to say that it really doesn't matter in Clash whether you have like 5 units placed, whether you have like 6 units placed. The timing of the card is very important, and Mukul has been showing me this every game, every single game he's played. I think that's why he's also a champion in the Clash Royale in India. And yes, that.
Once more, Angie.
Yes, you can do it one more time. We've still got.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, presenting this amazing invention to you. You see this amazing GG button? Yeah. So now we will be heading off to a small break, because on the other side we have a Counter-Strike Global Offensive game. Don't forget, press the bell icon, get notified on time, and join the esports hullabaloo called the ESL India Premiership 2018 Masters League, going on in the summer season.